What's up, everybody? Welcome to the first episode of my new YouTube show. I got a lot of fun stuff planned, but definitely not as easy as I thought it was going to be. I already made a video, but the editing technique not up to par right now. So I'm working on that, people. All right, I'm kind of an idiot, but I just want to let you know, like, a little introduction of what I want to do. I want to do like some skits. I got a green screen over here. I got a lot of stuff I'm working on. I'm just trying to have fun. You know, the podcast was a little different. I had interviews. I had a lot of people on, which I'm still gonna do because I'm gonna use Zoom, and I got Josh Moser with episode 1, very first guest, Josh Moser, Fox 11 sports director. He's a good friend of mine, and I'm gonna try to get some players on and just fun people, some great Packer fans. You know what I mean? We're gonna have a lot of fun. Like, this is gonna be a blast, especially when the season starts coming around. We're gonna a lot more stuff to talk about. But one thing I want to talk about right now. I know a lot of people, it's either love, hate, Tiger King. You either love it or you hate it. People are like, I ain't watching that. And I was the same way. I was like, I'm not watching this. My wife was watching. I'm like, I don't care. But this hillbilly, like, I didn't even know what he was. I was like, this guy, you know, I know that there's like 9 teeth between all the people on the show, it seemed like. You know what I mean? But so I wasn't going to watch it. But then I did. I watched like the last 2-3 episodes with my wife. And I was like, I got to start this over. I got to find out what the hell happened. How did we get here? You know what I mean? Which is not how you really want to watch a show. But I did. And the only conclusion I have, Carol Baskin definitely killed her husband. And people, if you don't believe me, just watch this video.
Hey, all you cool cats and kittens. It's Carol and Sapphire here in the background. And for today's daily update, I'm just going to tell you what I've been doing. So I have walked around the sanctuary. I took a look at the Bobcat Rehab Hospital.
You know what I'm saying? Like, first of all, the memes on this, because that was obviously a meme I saw on the internet. The memes on the Tiger King are hilarious, better than the actual documentary. The thing I find funny is that what's his name? Joe Exotic, all right? He wanted attention so much. He was trying to get a reality show. He was trying to document everything, and I get that. And he wanted fame so much, and now he's got it, but he's in prison. And I definitely think that those guys, like, totally shaded him. Like, I think that they were involved too with whatever. I'm not going to get into it. But I think he got shaded. I mean, he might have tried to kill her. I don't know. He might have. But they were definitely involved too. Now, I don't know for sure if she killed her husband. Let's ask a professional. O.J. Simpson. Did she kill her husband?
One thing I will say, there's not a shred of doubt in my mind that lady's husband is Tiger Sashimi right now. I'm just saying.
There you have it, people. A professional spoke. Nobody knows about killing her spouse more than O.J. Simpson. All right, so now we got the professional. All right, let's get into some real stuff. All right, so every week on the show, first of all, I'm gonna post it every Wednesday. Every Wednesday, watch out for a new episode, and I'm gonna have I want to do like Packer fan of the week. I want to do like Wisconsin person of the week. I don't know what I'm gonna call that one yet. But for the first one, Packer fan of the week, vegan cheesehead. Check it out.
I go visit the clapper. So take your shirt off when it's 20 below. Sitting in the end zone, cheering go Pack go. Yo, go. Hush up. Oh gosh darn it, don't you know I'm a cheesehead baby, the pride of Wisconsin.
And Grandma's cooking pot pie.
Oh, I'm not so typical.
Absolutely love that video. She did great. So that's what I want you to do. All right, send me your videos. Instagram DM, Facebook, email, matt@mattramageshow.com. Send me your stuff. I don't care, Morse code it. I don't care how you get it to me. Send me your videos. Be creative with it, and maybe I'll use it for the show. And the same with, I want to do a thing called Wisconsin Person of the Week or something. Like I say, I'll think of the name of it. But I saw this video, and I had reposted it. I got this video from Drink Wisconsin Bleed. So shout out to Drink Wisconsin Bleed. They post lots of stuff. Go check them out on Instagram, Facebook, and all the social medias. But check out this video. This is just great. This is great. This is the one I want to be when I get older. Check it.
It's on. Is it on?
It's on. Okay.
All right, we're on.
Garage door assisted Corona.
Chugging challenge.
All right.
All right, hang on.
Assume the position.
Shit.
I don't think we missed a drop.
Jake and Barb,
I'm pretty sure we got it all.
you're up.
That's just creative, first of all. That's people using the time they have because they're quarantined and using it the right way. All right? So send me your videos, whatever you're doing, both Wisconsin stuff, Packer stuff, you can mix them together and all that, and I'm going to show some. We're going to have some fun. This isn't just my show. This is a show for the people. And when the football season starts, if you have your take, like you want to talk about the game or you want to do whatever, send me your videos, and maybe I'll throw some in my little show I got going on here, right? And I also want to get like the players to come on. I'm gonna do a thing called five questions. 5 questions where it'll be like I ask a player 5 questions. It's not really hard to understand, you know what I mean? Because podcasts are hard to get players on the time constraints, but 5 questions, because that's all you need. 5 questions, and I want to learn about these Packer players, not just like the football stuff, but like, what do they do off the field? Like, what are they doing right now? How are they working out? How are they staying in shape while in quarantine? Not all of them have like big gyms in their house. You know what I mean? That's the plan, people. This is a show. This one's that's a little rocky so far. You know what I mean? I had a lot of ideas and stuff I was gonna do. Didn't work out. My editing skills ain't up to par real quick right now. But they're gonna get there, all right? We're gonna get this thing rolling though, baby. All right, I sat down with Josh Moser on Zoom. The lighting from my part was off. I ordered a light. I ordered some stuff to try to make the Zoom videos a little bit better. You know what I mean? So enjoy this conversation with Josh Moser, Fox 11 Sports Director. The Mose Knows. Go check out. Hit him up on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and all that stuff. And let's talk some Packers with Josh Moser. So the first guest of my very first Ramage show is Josh Moser, Fox 11 Sports Director. Thanks for coming on, man.
Of course, man. Always happy to talk. How are you?
I'm good, man. I mean, besides there's a lot going on in the world, but as good as can be. How about you?
Absolutely. You know, it's a weird time. So we're still working, and obviously the NFL's still going to have the draft. We still have to do the news every night.
Yeah.
We're sort of still pumping out sports stories, trying to talk to as many guys as we can and relate to people in a way to make sure they're not alone. And, you know, it's definitely living history right now.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I've been telling my kids that. Like, my kids are going to, like, read about this in the history books. I mean, it's not a good thing, but this is, like, some crazy stuff. Yeah, I'm still working, too. They don't stop making cheese in Wisconsin.
That's right. We're on the front lines, baby. Essential workers.
Yeah, I actually had a shirt made for that. No, but I'll get right into this thing because I know that you're a busy guy. You got to do the sports a little bit. So with the draft being like a virtual draft, like exactly like what is going to happen? Like I heard them talking about because they're going to use Zoom. Is that right? Just like we're doing?
Yeah, it's exactly like this. I know the Ravens specifically, they were talking about like cybersecurity and they're worried about people hacking the line. And I don't know enough about that to I'm not that smart. I cover sports, but yeah, I mean, to me, it sounds like it's going to be like, you know, one of us doing a fantasy football draft where they'll know what players are picked. They make in a call, they put it into the commissioner, and then he would read, you know, the name out wherever he's located. And I think it's going to be really interesting to kind of see how they piece this all together. And, you know, football fans are going to watch regardless. So this one's going to be fun. I'm curious to see how it unfolds. We don't really have too many answers right now. And I know that April 23rd, you know, people are looking forward to it.
Yeah, I wonder because like I was trying to read up on it and I really couldn't find any answers.
There's not much.
It's like fantasy football now.
Yeah, the Saints, one of their owners, like part owns a brewery, so they were going to set up shop there, and then that got shut down, and then they're trying to figure out competitive balance. So it looks like everyone's going to be in their own house, and I think they're still trying to work through it. So as we get closer, I think we're going to get a better idea, and it's going to be interesting. 30th overall. See what the Packers do.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited. So, in your opinion, like people ask me this all the time, and I'm not like a draft guy. I don't know a lot about college as much as I should. What position do you see the Packers grabbing in that first pick?
So, in talking to Ted Thompson when he was in charge, and listening to Brian Gutekunst, and even Matt LaFleur, they always talk about taking the best player available. So, yes, they have specific needs, but if someone falls to you at 30 or you're able to trade back like we've seen them do in the past, that's who they're going to go with. And they're not necessarily going to take a player based on position of need. They'd rather get the best guy on the board. So you could argue, Rashawn Gary was that last year when he fell to 12 with all of his athleticism and his metrics. People had him going much higher. Than all of a sudden when he was there, they're just like, we got to grab you. And then you look back a few years ago, I know some people might get mad and they're going to say, you got to take Watt at 30. And they're like, no, we're going to trade that pick. And then they go get Kevin King, who's now in a contract year. So it really just depends on how the board falls. And I know a lot of people are really talking up this quarterback Love out of Utah State, and they think he could be an NFL star. So if he's there at 30, do you take him? I'm curious to see how this falls because there's so many good wide receivers as well. And the Packers need a wide receiver. They need a linebacker. They always are looking for big athletic guys, both on that defensive line and offensive line. And you got to think with Brian Bulaga now gone, even though they bring somebody in to kind of fill that, that's not a long-term replacement at right tackle. So, those would be my kind of three positions of need. You're looking for a big athletic guy up front, whether offensive line or defensive line. Probably offensive line would be more important, but the wide receiver and, of course, inside linebacker.
Yeah, I totally agree. People always ask me, and I always tell them, I don't play fantasy football for a reason. I won the Super Bowl, fantasy football, 1 year. I had LaDainian Tomlinson. He had 300 touchdowns that year.
Let's see, baby. Yeah.
Yeah. So I won it, and then I retired. I was like, I'm going out on top. No, but I'm not good at fantasy football. I've tried it since then. I always forget to change my lineup, so I don't play fantasy football. Are you a fantasy guy?
I am. And you know what? I think it's great for kids because you learn all the players' names. And I wish I got into it more, when I was younger. But I've got a group of friends from high school. We started 15 years ago. And it's a great way for us. We keep in contact, and there's, crap talking all the time. And it gives us a way to, kind of cultivate our relationships and stay in touch with one another. It's interesting. You talk to some of the guys and the players in the locker room, and some of them play, some of them don't. Clay Matthews actually would orchestrate the big fantasy football draft between the Packers. And then once he left, nobody's picked it up, so they stopped playing. So that's kind of a funny little story. But I'm a big fantasy football person. I love it, and it's fun. It brings an element, but it's covering the team as a reporter is way different than you're watching people watch a game. And all they will care about is their person. They don't care about the team. They need X to score on points because they need to beat their friend. It's interesting. And then once all this betting gets legalized across the country, then it's going to get real interesting.
Yeah, I thought about doing it this year, getting back into it. My brother-in-law, every year, he's hardcore into it. I actually did it with him 1 year with all his friends, and they're really serious. They play for big money, and I'm I would just be donating money. I haven't played in 10 years, I think it's been.
And that's the problem. See, I'm up here with the Packers, and I got all my friends from home hey, how's Devontae Adams, ankle this week? Is he going to play? And I'm I can't tell you anything. They're like, hey, let me slide you $20. I need the inside scoop. And I'm just I don't know, man. You better make it 40.
Yeah, my brother-in-law actually said that one time because he was I forget what player it was. Is this player going to play? And I was like, I don't know, because people always ask me stuff. And then he's like, aren't you friends with that Moser guy from Fox 11? Text him. I was like, no, I'm not going to do that.
Sometimes, but as we're kind of moving on and, they used to allow us on the field, talking about the Packers before the game, and you need to get the guys that were kind of questionable, and then they'd have to go through that pregame warm-up. And so now they're taking us off the field at Lambeau at least because they don't want that information to leak. They're trying to wait to the last possible second to get whatever edge they can. I don't blame them. It's you got 16 opportunities, and maybe now 17 moving forward after this season. It's just still crazy to me.
Yeah, I actually agree with that because if they just let everyone on the field, they can tip them off, and better to get into the game before they know exactly if those questionable guys are gonna trot out.
Oh yeah, and as a team, you want to keep control as long as you can, but you have to tell both teams have to declare 90 minutes before kickoff who's active or inactive. So you could have that player be active, but he may not even play. So you've got guys that you have, but they're not necessarily even going to play.
Yeah, or then emergency situation if they had to or whatever.
Exactly.
But, okay, so do you think the NFL season is going to start on time? I know that it's a time like the one thing that I see, because people ask me, I think more than the season starting is like the training camp and the mini camps and all those camps. If those are delayed, if they just want to rush the product out there, like people will get hurt. So, like, what do you think?
I think it's wait and see. I think we got to figure out where all these numbers are with the coronavirus as we move throughout the next couple weeks and months. And, right now the NFL, I think they were really smart in trying to operate as normally as possible and keep this date of the draft. They've obviously monopolized all of the media coverage because there's nothing going on. And now the NFL is in every household because, people like me, we have to fill a show and, people want to know about it. And I think from that end, it's also been a really good distraction during this time.
Yeah.
But to project all the way out to September, I don't know. Like, there needs to be training time with these teams together as a group. You can't just throw them out on the field with one preseason game and then expect them to play. I think we're going to see a lot of injuries if we do that. I would be very curious to talk to the players to see what the Players Association is putting together during all of this, because I'm sure if the NFL had it their way, they would keep the schedule, as close to normal as they can. But what's interesting is when the league releases stuff to the public or they let us know when something's going on, they're acting as if the TV deals, everything's going to take place normally. And they have a set Super Bowl date, so, everything would need to fall in line. But I think as they learn more information as well, they might start pushing stuff back. But we're seeing Major League Baseball right now. They've got a proposal to start play here, as early as the end of May if this thing goes through. They don't have it approved, but I think once we see the numbers in the next few weeks, I'm hoping that everyone is staying home and this thing kind of hits its peak and then we can start declining. But then it's a question of, do you let fans in the stadium? I don't think you can put 80,000 people in a stadium in September. I think that's going to be a big, big ask. And that's my other question is, like, once this thing passes, how do we acclimate back into society? Are you going to be allowed to be in groups of 10? So I feel like all of a sudden, if we just let everybody out the gate, it's going to be like the end of Prohibition and everybody's going to go crazy. It's just like, I don't know. I'm very curious to see what the CDC, decides to do and what the government decides to do. It's just kind of wait and see. And I can't imagine, hopefully these guys at home have training facilities. I know Corey Lindsley is here in Green Bay still. And a funny story, he went to go buy a bench at Dick's Sporting Goods. And he got on the bench with the weight and the thing just cracked. And he doesn't have any weights at his house. Yeah, so he's like, I'm pulling my daughter up and down the stairs on my shoulders, to work out. So there's no way these players are going to be in playing shape. You've seen all these videos of some of these guys in Florida and these facilities. So it just depends on where they are. But I don't think they can rush out on the field. And I'm hoping that they get together all summer. But realistically, training camp for the Packers starts the last week of July. So I think you might lose those mini camps and OTAs and all of that. So, but I think if we get an answer, June, July, and they can spend, a normal preseason, I think we would be in a better situation to make some decisions. But right now, I think it's way too early.
Yeah, I think it's a tough question because people ask me that, and I'm like, dude, I'm like the least informed. I'm not saying informed, but I watch the news or whatever. Fox 11, of course. But like, there's a lot smarter people that don't know, like, what, it's a very big thing. It's way bigger than football. So it is just a wait and see, and hopefully, because I think a lot of other things are happening besides football. Like, people are sick, there's a lot of bigger things going on.
Totally. I think realistically, they got a better chance of doing this without fans in the stadium. And NFL, as we know, it's a $1 billion TV product, and we're going to see with the draft here. The question is, if they keep the same date, can we make a television show out of this? That's really all that they're trying to do. Yeah. And they think they've got the capabilities to do that. And I'm just very excited to see what they put together. And I used to work for the NFL Network way back in the day in Culver City.
I didn't know that. Yeah,
and they've got some really smart people and technology, and I'm sure all the teams do as well. And I'm excited as a sports fan, as a sports reporter, to see how they're going to do this. And I think I have an idea, but we won't know. I would assume Roger Goodell would start, and then they'd have basically a camera in all the GMs, houses, and hope that the live feeds, take, and they're, I'm sure we're going to see situations where we're going to cut to black, or something's going to go wrong with the camera, or a signal's going to go out, or we're going to see fuzzy stuff. But it's, like this, it's, people are used to it. They understand. So, it's going to be wild. It's, I think for the players that are going to get drafted, I mean, I know all of the players talk about their draft night and the memory, and they're going to definitely remember this one.
Yeah, and some of them I feel bad because if they do it like virtual and they don't get to go up on the stage with that, fanfare that they get, meet the commissioner and all that, that kind of sucks. But it is what it is. Right,
but I mean, realistically, if you think about this, right, there's 7 rounds, and really the first round is all the ones that the fans really, really watch, those first picks, and maybe a couple stay for the second round that were supposed to go in the first that didn't get drafted. But for the most part, I mean, we saw Baker Mayfield a couple years ago with the number 1 overall pick. He didn't even go. He stayed with his family at home, and they set it up on a remote location. So, I think it'll just be interesting to see, can the player be with his parents? Like, are they going to need to be 6 feet apart? Like what's going to entail that? Like, I mean, there's a lot of things that have to go right here, and I'm excited to fly on the wall and watch this thing along with everyone else. And I think a lot of people are going to be tuning in.
Yeah, I think it'd be real interesting. I actually, the other day when they showed the Packers Super Bowl XLV, before that NASCAR race was on, I was watching it, and I'm like, how do they have a NASCAR race? It must be an old one, because I don't really watch NASCAR that much. And then they started they're talking to the drivers as they were driving. And I was like, what's going on? They're talking to drivers, they're driving now? Then it turned out it was a game. It was like a remote NASCAR race. I'm sure you know.
Yeah. It's iRacing. It's crazy, man. These simulators, they're legit, and they're like $15,000. And, I mean, it basically like trading your snowmobiles. You got to get one of these, and it's got the full headset. It operates like a car. It's basically the training center that, people get reps so they're not burning through the tires, burning through the cars. They race on these things in off season or when they're trying to make the circuit. And, it's all money for charity, but it's fun. I mean, I saw one of them.
It was awesome.
I forget who it was. I think it was Bubba Wallace, like crashed, and then he just like got up, took the headset off. It's like, I'm done. And I was like, do you even be mad? It's like, it's not a real race, but it's kind of a race. We're struggling. We're watching NBA 2K games right now, and all these kids at home with the golf trick shots, and this
there's
back, man. I'm ready for it.
Yeah, there's a ton of it. I've been trying to think of different ways to like do trick shot stuff, but I'm still working, so it's it wouldn't be for the same reason. Like these kids spend like the whole day hitting a ball into a solo cup.
See, I think they need a caveat. Like, I want to know how many takes it took for them to complete the trick shot. I mean, it's still amazing regardless, but I want to know start time to end time and how many tries.
Yeah, like there's like not even the balls, but like they got the CDs like going into Xboxes. They're like chucking from across the room, sliding in perfect. That's like insane to me. There's so many. Sports will never die. Even if they can't have professional sports, people will think of ways to keep sports going.
Did you hear about UFC? I think this is a crazy story. Dana White is a genius. He's bought a private island off of U.S. soil, and he's going to try to do live fights and fly the fighters and quarantine them there is his plan. So if that goes down.
Yeah, I heard a little bit about it. I was wondering how they're going to do it. If he was just going to have a bunch. I heard he was going to have like a fight every week. Because that'd be really smart of him. Because then people like me, like I don't watch it. But if there's no, and not that I'm not against it. I just never really caught my eye.
Not your thing, yeah.
But like, if that's only sport on, a lot of people like me are going to tune in, and then a lot of people are going to get hooked and like, oh, this is great, because it is entertaining. I've watched it before. I just never got into it where I know every fighter and I root for them, and I just watch people get the crap beat out of them.
Yeah, I mean, that's my other question. Like this Tiger King phenomenon on Netflix, like would the show have been as big as it is if normal life had been going on? Or is it just that people have nothing to do?
Yeah.
I don't think so either.
Because that's what it is. Like people talk about something and then it's kind of going, and everyone was home. So they're just looking for something on Netflix that's different.
Exactly.
And that definitely was it. That's definitely different.
This is America.
This is America. Hey, I appreciate you being the first guest. Next time it'll be good. I'm going to have some lights. I got lights I bought. So it's gonna be good. I think that I like this a lot better than a podcast because I can see the people, and I'm gonna do some other stuff and do skits and stuff. You'll have to subscribe on YouTube, Josh, all right, to see the whole thing.
I'm in. Whatever you need from me, anytime, man. You're the best.
Hey,
I gotta give me a beanie. I need some Bears Still Suck memorabilia.
Yeah, I'll hook you up. I'll hook you up.
I gotta buy some. We'll get some going.
I did a Bears podcast the other day with some Bears page asked me to do a podcast. They're good people.
Yeah.
And I was actually nice. I didn't bash. I was trying to be respectful because I'm not gonna be a douchebag about it. But it was definitely fun. I think that comes out Friday. But
yeah, you see your boy Haha going back to join Mike McCarthy.
Yeah, he's going to play with Mike McCarthy.
Dallas.
I talked about this on their podcast. They're like, "What do you think about him going to Dallas?" I was like, "I love Haha, and I'll always support him." But he went from my number 1 hated team to probably my number 2 or 3 hated team. It's like, but I think
text him, get him right.
I think it's a great move for him going back with McCarthy. I obviously I love me some McCarthy, and I don't know what's going on in Dallas, like who they got. I know that they have a lot of contracts coming up, and
McCarthy's in Green Bay. He's here with the family. He's still here. He's out in Ledgeview, just heading with the family, and we'll see what happens, man. It's
I didn't realize that he was
perspective for sure, but sports is always
leave Green Bay.
Dude, this place sucks you in, man.
You get in,
you see Titletown, you see Lambeau, and it's just like I've been here for 4.5 years.
There's a lot of players that after they retire they stay here. People like
absolutely Johnny Gray.
Yeah.
Fox 11 Zone. He's been here forever.
Yeah.
Packers Hall of Famer. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cost of living's good. Nice people. Got everything you need. Packer fan base.
6 Walmart.
Make some good money on the side. They're set for life. Chipotle, Qdoba, whatever you need.
It's great. Hey, I appreciate you coming on, man.
Oh, of course. Anytime. Yeah. Got to talk some more football, but glad you're doing well. Got the family safe, and curious to see what's next.
Yeah, I'm definitely. I can't wait for this to get going. All right, appreciate y'all tuning in. I hope you enjoyed that conversation with Josh Moser. Lots more stuff coming up. Tom Crabtree will be on Zoom, hopefully after this coronavirus stuff gets situated and all that. And I'm gonna try to get some other stuff coming. Lots of Packer fans on the same thing as with the podcast, but I want to do it on a video and then add in some fun stuff. Woo! We're gonna have some fun, people. Stay tuned. Every Wednesday, new episode. Thanks for tuning in.